Okay.
The letter.
Live from New York, it's Ask These Engineers.
Hey everybody, and welcome to Ask an Engineer. It's what we do every Wednesdays at 8 p.m. We're here at the Adafruit factory where we do all the design, coding, manufacturing, testing, and shipping of the electronics you know and love. It's me, Lady Ada, as always, here at the Adafruit factory, but I also have two guest engineers. We have three engineers today. We also have Scott Shawcroft and Dan Halbert, who we're going to be talking about all sorts of cool stuff that they brought and cool stuff that we brought.
Circuit Playground and more.
Just all sorts of stuff all over. Announcements, videos,
CircuitPython.
new products, Pythons.
Tons of videos.
Lots of more Pythons.
Lots of circuit things.
Get these gosh darn Pythons off my show.
Okay.
What's the code?
All right. On tonight's show, the code is easy peasy lemon. This is a fun thing because Scott says easy peasy lemon squeezy, so the code is easy peasy lemon because that fits on the screen. It supports us, an open source hardware company. Here's us. We're in New York City. We make electronics. Made in USA. It's made in USA week, day, week. Support us. Show and tell people around the world showing and sharing their projects. Pack mailbags and stop by. Read your emails to us. Time travel. Look in the world back of makers, hackers, artists, and engineers. Some Adafruit factory footage, some Nimbus, the friendly cloud entity, 3D printing, Microbit Mondays, some Pi news, new products, top secret. We'll answer your questions. We'll have a trivia question, all that and more on Ask an Engineer. Okay, it's an action-packed show.
Action-packed. So much action.
Okay, so we'll do some introductions later, but let's just get to a bunch of stuff first. Don't forget the code is easy peasy lemon. And that goes all the way to 11:59 tonight. Only gift certificates in the box are the things that it's not eligible for. We're watching Ask an Engineer. It's 8 p.m. Wednesday. Do you know where your Ask an Engineer is?
Here.
We just did show and tell. That's every Wednesday at 7:30. And we also have a Discord server. And I'm going to pop to the camera here. Scott, what's Discord and why are we doing this?
Oh, Discord is a really popular chat service for live streaming, particularly in the gaming world, but I actually had lunch with Mr. Certainly, and he was the person who suggested it to me. Said, hey, you should do this, and then everybody chimed in and said, like, hey, you should have it. And the reason it's cool is that it's chat that lives on all the time, rather than just being when we're live. So I'm always on the chat, so you can always ping me. And there's a whole bunch of other people. We have about 40 people kind of online all at once now. So if you have project help and you want to have that like quick turnaround, it's not official Adafruit project help, but there's lots of
community people.
Community folks there that know their stuff too.
We have forums and stuff where you can post photos and get code help. But sometimes you're like, hey, like people in the chat, you know, I just need a sensor that detects temperature and works with, you know, this device, and they'll suggest something maybe if you're lucky.
Yeah, and especially for people helping people, and it's been working out.
Yeah, people helping people. That's what we're all about.
I'm putting the link in the chats, Twitch and YouTube right now.
Okay.
So feel free to go to all 5 chats.
Yeah. Okay. Also, just stuff about us. If you're in New York City and you check out before 11 a.m., we have same-day delivery. Your zip code, if it's eligible, we'll let you know. For UPS ground shipping for orders $199 or more?
$99 or more.
99, sorry.
Sorry, this is $250 for free UPS shipping.
Yeah, I just completely spaced.
That's fine.
Yeah.
UPS ground shipping in the United States, $250 or more. You get free trackable shipping.
That's right.
That will get to you.
There was another thing that I had to mention. So we have DHL now to Canada, and then we also have DHL to France, Germany, the UK, and I think we're adding others. The other thing, the $99 thing, is the pins. If you have an account, we give you a different one each time. If you don't, it's just random. Okay. So we just got to get through a bunch of stuff because we had guests last week. I want to talk about that.
Stuff.
Yeah, so Judith was on the show last week.
Yeah,
it was she's one of the engineers at TE. You also hung out with DigiKey and
we went
Judith.
To this racetrack.
Went to this racetrack.
Judith got to see these race cars up close.
Yeah.
Like in them.
And this was all part of the My Mini Race Car project that we did. So we had a kit. We had people make stuff. Actually, Phil Moyer on the show showed one of the bots, but he's using a Metro and CircuitPython.
Yeah.
So and he's getting the motor shield to work. That's kind of cool.
Yeah.
So the kit that we did is still on the site. You can keep building this, and it's a really neat, low-cost, easy Bluetooth controllable robot.
Yep.
So I went to the races with you, and I was able to do some filming. I have this neat camera setup. It's a little out of control. So it's like 8 cameras on one camera. and also
It's
Snapchat
totally like
spectacles.
a Lego Destroyer
Yeah.
camera.
So it's like 4 different streaming networks and a lot of different ways to get footage. And so I have a video. We'll play like just a 5-minute video about our race day.
Okay.
So take it away.
We went to the races.
Take it away, us.
5 red lights will come on, and when they go off, we will be racing in New York City away.
So once they get in their second car, they will have a brief period of about 5 seconds. It's almost like push and pass for people here in the U.S. that are familiar with that in IndyCar racing. It gives you 5 seconds of 60 horsepower. So that you're in a real battle with somebody who goes down and drain that other energy out of your battery.
That was in the lead or the second car?
Watching on board here.
That? It's possible.
Victory in New York City for...
Do you know how you have to hold this and it falls? No, that it has a sensor.
Yeah, so it scans me.
Sensor down here. Check this out. It's like a LiDAR type thing. And then, is this a screen?
Yeah.
Okay, it's got little eyes. And does it tell you like information? No, it's just like direction. And then you can tell like instructions.
Key, digi-key, photo shoot. Beep, beep. Okay, and
Okay.
I regret the error, but it turns out this was a lie, and the world is full of lies. But this was just an error. We don't have any more pins left. Sorry.
Sorry. But we'll have more freebies soon.
Yeah.
Cool, awesome freebies.
Yeah.
That you will enjoy.
The appropriate person has been fired. I think that was me.
Yeah.
Okay. So next up, we have show and tell. People around the world showing and sharing their projects. Lady Ada, who was on the show and tell this week?
Oh, we had a jam-packed show and tell. Let's go through the list. We had a lot of Adafruit people and also a lot of visitors. Okay, we had JP from Adafruit West. He had his pinball DIY build, and he did a live stream. He actually did 2 live streams of converting an old pinball tablet controller to work with iOS using a Teensy, so it was kind of cool. Check that out. I think he put it up on YouTube. Noah and Pedro have this week's 3D print project. It's the Guardian robot build. They took a Guardian robot from Zelda Breath of the Wild, added a motor to it, added some NeoPixels to it, made it look creepy and maybe Guardian-y. And then we'll have that video as well for this week, and there's a guide. Dan, who's right here with us, showed off the Micro Lab from Popular Electronics. It's really cool. Check that out. It's like really beautiful, like DIY, like project pack kit, except all you get is like 2 flip-flops and a NAND gate. But you could do a lot with it, you know, back in my day. No, I was not alive at that time. Tony D has a video stream. He tried out the NRF52 build for MicroPython. Kind of works, kind of. Check that out if you want to use our NRF52 Feather with MicroPython. Maybe we'll eventually get CircuitPython working on it. That'll be pretty cool. It's got central and peripheral support. So if you're interested in doing central support, we have it for Arduino, but if you want to do central Bluetooth, which is unusual, not a lot of chips support that, you can then connect to other Bluetooth devices, which can be kind of neat. You can use them as a radio. Then we had some people visiting. Mark Merlin showed off lots of LED matrices, just like tons, like 8,000 LEDs were available, all running the same code, from NeoPixels to RGB matrices to little 8x8 LED plugins. Check those out. Adam McCone did a quick how-to of how scanning electron microscopes work. He's working on a scanning electron microscope, but like, what is he actually building there? Well, we need to talk about it. Morgan, who's been on the show and did a couple guides for us as well, is working with Girl Scouts this summer, which is awesome. She's showing them what it's like to be a real engineer. She's a mechanical engineer. And so instead of just building robots, which are cool, she wanted to show how real mechanical engineering in the world with automation works. And so she's doing a DIY 3D printed conveyor kit. And like they're going to add maybe some vision systems or sensors to it so you can do your own industrial equipment that moves products around your backyard factory. Cool. Chris Young showed off the mouse he uses when he's using, I guess, like CAD software or like doing some more advanced drawing or 3D or electronics. He uses a mouth-controlled joystick. So he showed on Amazon, you can pick one up and it's like $1,500, which is ridiculous. And that's like, it's not even Prime available. Like you actually have to pay shipping, which is total BS. But you can build your own using like only $50 worth of parts.
Yeah.
So he showed how you made one with a little joystick breakout, and you can use a Feather or a Nano or whatever Arduino compatible if you want. Maybe even use Python with it. And then also showed off a nice open source project to make a more advanced one called Lip Sync, which is it's more similar to the $1,500 version, but it's fully open source. Uses an Arduino Nano or Micro, and has puff and sip as well for click and left click, which is pretty cool. I like that addition. And just reviewed some of the interesting 3D printed mouse control available to makers out there. And then we also had a couple more people. We had Phil Moyer, who is building one of our little mini robot kits, but this time with a Metro M0 running CircuitPython with IR detection. So he's working on that, going to get the motor driver working. That'll come soon. And we had Claire, whose dad made the LED sousaphone. Well, she's got something even better. She's got a light up ukulele, and she can play AC/DC on it. Don't believe me? Watch the video.
Yeah, that's cool.
We have proof.
Yeah. Okay.
It was pretty sweet.
All participants on the show and tell get an IC on show and tell sticker. Email support@adafruit.com, and we will send it out to you. This is part of our Adafruit live series. We've been doing a lot of videos. Since we're catching up last week, since we had a engineer interview, Lady Ada went over some samples. That was our sample Tuesday or something
Yeah,
like
I had
that.
these little Linux modules. So I'm checking out what's available for making little embedded Linux Feather type things. So I got some MediaTek 7688s or 7866s, can I remember?
Yeah.
I have a couple dev boards that I ordered. You can, for $7, you can get all-in-one Linux module these days, which is pretty amazing.
And then a little note that I forgot to mention before. If you go into Discord chat and you have any questions about the electron microscope, Adam is answering them. So that's a good place. If you want to learn
If you want more information about scanning electron
all about how the
microscopes,
microscope works, he can talk to you about there.
He'll shoot electrons at you just like the scanning electron microscope does.
And I was actually talking with him. He's interested in going to the Seattle Mini Maker Fair.
Yeah.
So this was kind of like him practicing what he could
Yeah, you
tell people.
You gotta hold this thing somewhere and then talk about it all day.
Yep.
So you got to get your script going.
Yeah.
Then we had a visitor. So this is a sped up version of the video. We had DHL's EffiBot, and this is Robot Friend. It follows you around. Has all sorts of neat
completely
sensors.
automatic. It has there's no radio. It just sees you, and it does. Like has cameras and has LiDAR, and it'll just follow you wherever you move. And it's kind of scary because it's quite fast.
Yeah.
And it'll stay exactly like 18 inches behind you.
Yeah.
So it's for warehouses.
Yeah, we might try to borrow one or get one from DHL so we can move packages around easier.
Yeah,
So,
check out the LiDAR. You can see it.
yes,
Yeah,
we have the full video on our YouTube channel,
LiDAR-esque
adafruit.com/YouTube. Okay,
EffiBot.
more stuff. So just Tony D, there was a couple videos of the last couple weeks. This was the circuit walker, and Tony
Step
D.
detection.
Yeah, he has kind of an update to the Firewalker using Circuit Playground, and then he also downloaded the mini build from the NRF52.
Yeah.
That's MicroPython for the ESP.
No, it's
Sorry. It's
I
for it's
know there's
SHME32s.
the ESP32,
Yeah.
the NRF52, NRF51. This is
Yeah,
the
so you should
NRF52.
sort of like get it and run it on one of
So
these
you can run
places.
Python on it.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
a beefy chip. It's a Cortex M4.
Yeah.
Has a mega flash, 256K RAM, so it's perfect for running Python.
It's on my radar, and I think one of the people that did a lot of work, we should shout out to Glenn. We talked with him a bit.
Shout out to Glenn.
Send
Shout out
him a
Glenn.
feather as well. So
Yeah, we're looking forward to when we get to the NRF52 840, which is native USB, then we can have the really nice CircuitPython experience, but with Bluetooth. So that's kind of what we're targeting.
Speaking
Don't tell
of,
them.
No, it's not a secret.
speaking of,
What?
yeah. So this is why y'all are here. Today is a 1.0 release.
Yay!
Yeah.
Yay!
Good work, Scott, and also Dan's here.
Dan.
So
Yeah.
maybe y'all can start chatting.
Yeah,
Maybe Scott, maybe talk about a little bit of what you've been doing, and Dan, maybe then you can talk about some of the things you've been doing with CircuitPython.
yeah, so CircuitPython started last August or September when you guys got a hold of me and said, hey, do you want to port MicroPython to the SAMD21, which is the M0 board that we have?
Do you want to change the world?
All sorts of stuff.
Or do you want to keep making maps?
Yes. Well, I wasn't doing maps.
Do you want to go somewhere, or do you want to
be
be a cartographer? Yeah, no.
Right. It's fun.
Yeah,
It's
no,
fun.
you did the drone stuff. You used to come on
Yeah.
the show and tell. It was cool.
Yep, so that's how I got my in.
Yeah.
How I got in front of you guys. So I always recommend to people do show and tell. It's super cool.
If you want to work for Adafruit, absolutely. It's our number
It's the
one
job application.
way you
Yep.
get a job.
Show up.
Yeah, so I took that and we looked at it. I got it running pretty quick, but made some design decisions to be a little bit different than MicroPython. So something like we have a standard hardware API. It's structured in a way that when we do add the NRF52, the ESP32 in the future, it'll be super easy and portable, which will be really good. And so we did a lot of that. We did a lot of betas. We got it on we got the Feather M0 Express out, the Metro M0 Express, the Circuit Playground Express, all of that stuff. Super good hardware. It has the extra SPI chip. Got that working nice and good. And then we were kind of waiting to do a 1.0, and you did awesome testing.
Yay,
Lamore,
I did
thank
so much
you.
testing.
Yeah. And I look at the release notes. I thanked a bunch of people. Dan's one of the people that did some really awesome testing. Jerry Needell is also one of the people. Tony DeCola obviously did a lot of work as well.
It's a team effort.
Yeah, and the MicroPython people deserve a lot of credit as
Yeah.
well. So it was time for us to have a stable release. We felt like the API that we created was good and will last us a while. And it was super stable. We didn't find any more bugs. We did 4 release candidates, which was...
We're totally going to find like 8 more bugs now than we're 1.0 because it's exactly
It's fine.
how it... But of course we can, we're going to have more releases and you're
Yep.
starting to work on even 2.0.
Yeah, 2.0, we rebased on the newer MicroPython code, did some storage stuff. So kind of thinking for 2.0, what we're going to do is we're going to add SD card support So we'll have ADA logger support. We'll have MP3 Music Maker Featherwing support as well, hopefully, if it's fast enough. But kind of that will be where 2.0 lands, and then going forward from there, we'll start. I think we'll start looking at chips, more chips. So NRF52, ESP32, kind of branching out and getting some more feathers.
Yeah, definitely. I think the NRF52, I think I'm excited about because it again has native USB, so it'll be. That's why I'm okay with not porting it yet.
Yeah.
Waiting until it gets more mature on the NRF52. Because
Right.
I think it will. I think as people start moving from the NRF51, they'll start
Yep.
it is the best chip for it. And then
Yeah.
the ESP32 is also. They're adding. They're still working on support for all the stuff, but they have also Bluetooth Classic, which will be neat. So we do audio, Bluetooth audio, which is kind of neat.
Yeah, it's a lot of we'll have to take a look at the APIs that have been established and figure out how we want to unify them and that sort of stuff too. But it's only a matter of time, I think, before we get to the networking stacks and
No,
and all
that's
of
definitely next. You have to have Wi-Fi, Bluetooth. I'm working on the SAM-R21, which is SAM-D21 with a radio built in.
Yep.
And that's Zigbee, and that's actually really easy. That's kind of what maybe they'll probably be our first one because it'll be the same as the SAM-D core, and then we'll just have a library that. The chip itself is literally a SAM-D, and then they took the chip of the radio and they just packaged it into one QFP.
Right.
You can't. It looks just like a SAM-D21, but it's got the little radio stuck inside, and that'll allow you to do RF stuff, and we can practice what's that like to do RF when you're a single thread without interrupts, right? That's going to be
and we might have to go to the point where. Sorry, I'm reading the chats at the same time. Ignore the chats.
You can close your mouth.
I could, but I like the chats.
Okay.
Yeah, networking stuff is going to be easy. I think we might need to get to the point where we use a real-time operating system.
Yeah.
Particularly when we're doing Wi-Fi and Bluetooth, because that's all time-critical stuff.
Yeah, I think the ESP32 even has its own real-time operating system in the background.
Yeah, and the NRF52 soft device does interrupts whenever it wants to as well.
It does that too, so that's good. Okay, and then Dan, what are you interested in?
So I started using CircuitPython because I was building a little project for a fellow on a volunteer basis for a fellow with cerebral palsy, and so he needed some foot buttons that would simulate mouse key clicks and mouse clicks. He's actually a professional filmmaker, and he uses a chin-operated joystick and one foot switch right now to edit videos and things like that. It's really remarkable.
Check out the Chris one.
Yeah, so Chris is sort of in parallel with Chris. I didn't know about Chris's stuff, but I wanted to build this thing, and I also wanted it so he could reconfigure it without having to rebuild it, because he's not a programmer, but he's perfectly capable of using a text editor. So CircuitPython had USB mouse and keyboard support. It had a USB drive that he could edit the files on. And so I said, this is exactly the platform that I want. And Scott had started with a simple keyboard library that he built for his own keyboard. And I added some stuff to that, and I added the mouse library. And also I was doing this development on Windows, not because I wanted to use Windows, but because I just thought, well, maybe everybody else, Scott and everybody, was doing it on Mac, and I thought, well, somebody should test this on Windows.
Yeah, I'm on Windows 7, and people are like, you should totally use Linux. And I'm like, oh, I love using Linux, but the entire world runs on Windows 7.
So we have to test it. So we found some issues that we know have workarounds for CircuitPython on Windows.
So did your friend end up using the CircuitPython thing?
Yeah, I'm not finished with the project because I got very distracted fixing all these things, and also I'm trying to cram it. There's a lot of code, and making it all fit in the current platform is difficult, but I think I can make it fit in the 2.0 platform.
Okay.
Oops, sorry. And then you also just, sorry, I'm running some power. You also mentioned that you were able to get frozen modules to run internally.
That's right. So
so why is it a big deal? Because some people probably know what frozen modules are.
What's the big deal?
Yeah, what's the big deal?
All right, so Tony described this already. You can compile the .py files into .mpy files, which makes them smaller, and you can put them in a library. But when you import them using the Python import statement, they still end up in RAM. And the M0 chips only have 32K of RAM, and once you load a few libraries, you use up all the RAM. And in fact, we don't even have 32K. We have 16K for the heap and 16K for the stack, and it's not a lot of space.
And when it's plugged in, we use 4K for the mass storage.
Right. Cache. So it's all. So the idea is MicroPython had this thing called internal frozen modules, where you compile things to MPY and you add them to the firmware, to the image that is in CircuitPython.
The end or something?
There's just this, they get compiled in.
Yeah.
It's actually worse than that. The MPY files get turned into C code. You don't really want to know. What this means is we can now add Python libraries to the base core image, and it doesn't use up any RAM when you import them, just like all the other things that you import from the base stuff that's written in C.
So like some
right
popular
now.
libraries, from like NeoPixel, for example,
Right.
probably add that in directly. And
Right.
then, like, you're talking about like for Circuit Playground, because it has all these built-in sensors, you might as well add them in directly.
Yeah.
Exactly, and that means you can write much bigger programs, and so it's much better for somebody who's going to use Circuit Playground Express.
Okay.
Right. So even though we just released 1.0, if you want to try that, you can check out master on GitHub, and that's checked in there. That's the working 2.0 stuff.
Okay.
Right, and I should probably write up a little something about how to do it
Yeah.
Okay.
somewhere.
All right, that's what I remember seeing the GitHub issue being closed, and I was like, I don't know what this is. It sounds good. Now I understand.
That's why we make issues, so we can close them.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly.
Okay, and every week at Adafruit, we have an all-company meeting. It's about half an hour, and we do hug reports instead of bug reports. So big hug report to both Scott and Dan for making something that's so easy for people to use. We're seeing lots of young people and seasoned professionals who say, this is what I've been waiting for, because you're not wasting all your time compiling and waiting and sending over and over and over again as you're doing things that you could do with the REPL or just editing a text file.
Or exactly, I needed to do a lot of string manipulation to parse files.
Imagine
it's
waiting
so much
each
easier
time.
to do that in Python.
I mean,
Yeah.
you get like printf. I mean, that's pretty nice. Like,
Yeah.
Arduino doesn't even have, I mean, you can kind of hack it, but just being able to like get the data in the string format that you want,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
parsing in CSV files.
And the other thing, I'll hug report more. So I think when you make a new platform, or in our case, it's based on MicroPython, but it works for our stuff,
Right.
specifically the hardware. The firmware is great, and your work's great, but there's something even more important. It's the community that's starting to build. So the things that Scott's doing with Discord, and we have a code of conduct on GitHub.
Yep.
We have a code of conduct on the chat, and people who, this might be the first time they do electronics, and that's the point. And so when Lady Ada started, there was only like AVR freaks. That was this Atmel site for a bit. And if you did an Arduino project, they were just like, you're stupid, what are you doing here? This is a baby programming language for pot smoker. This guy Arn said that. I want to turn it into a t-shirt because I thought it was so funny. And it was
It's
just like,
pretty like, it's pretty cool. It's like my API is so easy, you can be a baby programmer and totally stoned and you can
yeah.
still use it.
But it was
Still
such
be
an
effective.
unwelcoming thing. So I feel like this is the reboot. And
Yeah.
if these are going to schools, and I'm going to talk about Make Code in a second, if these are going to schools and educators and people who've never touched electronics, there's a team member here. She's never done any programming, never done any electronics, and used Circuit Playground with Make Code. Said that was really too easy. Can you give me something else? And like doesn't realize the
Good problem to have.
last 15 years, just like everyone taps out. Like you have to be so what's the word, doggedly? Like
Yes.
yeah, you have to be so obsessed with getting this thing to work that you never actually have time to have fun. And anyway, so thanks, hug reports to both of y'all.
Thank you.
Thank you for giving me the time to do it.
Yay.
Thanks for providing this platform and making
Yeah.
it so easy for me to contribute
Yeah.
because it's all open source.
Yeah, that's
Okay.
the other thing. Everything we do is open source,
Yep.
and we make it really clear. And when you look at the things that you're working on with people with cerebral palsy, or the things that Bill is doing, or the things that Chris is doing, none of us set off as like hobbyists and makers to help the disabled, but boy, is it working out.
I'll tell you what.
HID keyboards and all this
Yeah.
stuff. Yeah, it's just like all the things they needed.
I'll tell you what it does hit, which is really funny, because like every time a new platform comes out, like everybody on the internet is like, well, can I use it while I'm on a plane? Right? 'Cause everyone's like, oh yeah, I'm going to do all my coding on a flight.
Yeah.
For some
Right.
reason, this is like the most important thing.
Well, you're trapped,
like,
right?
CircuitPython, like, but it's shorthand for like, can you do it without internet? Can you do it without
Right.
downloading stuff? So
Right.
if you live in a place with bad internet, which is like a lot of people are like, I don't get broadband. Maybe they have a modem. There's a lot of people who still use AOL.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right? They can do CircuitPython. They don't have to worry about downloading a 200 megabyte
Right.
IDE and installing it.
Yep. We were talking about like if students have this and they don't have a computer at home, but they have a library that they can go to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right? Because the code goes with you, you can get one computer one day and then go to another computer the next day and continue where you left off.
You bring your code around with you. It's not this cloud thing. I'll talk about
Yeah.
some of that later. Okay, so hand in hand with that is MakeCode. So it's makecode.adafruit.com, And for folks who don't know, this is the kind of drag and drop Blockly style programming. And good news, everybody. It's in the Windows Store. It's called Make Code for Adafruit.
I will say something though, it's not searchable quite yet, but wait, tomorrow morning.
Yeah.
It will be, if you type in Make Code, it will show
Yeah,
up.
so this is in the Windows Marketplace.
It's in the Windows Marketplace, and this is actually really neat. So the Windows 10 app version, so if you have Windows 10, you can install this. You can't use it on Windows 7 or 8, but it has some really neat things. It includes a serial interface, so you can stream data. And from what I can tell, you can also stream sensor data to Azure, and so you can data log through the app, and so it'll do IoT for you. So if you want to do Internet of Things type projects, you can use Azure, and then
do you use any of these? Do you use any of these like Windows super new Azure stuff? Okay, well, maybe we'll give you a project.
That's right. Yeah.
Because like a lot of the stuff, I think now that Windows 10 is where it is, you kind of have to join it. It's like, okay, now I have a Windows 10 machine. I have the marketplacing. I have like everything kind of goes together. They're trying to make that ecosystem sort of like, I think, other platforms.
Also, you don't have to like drag and drop with this. It just downloads directly. So it's very integrated, but it uses the same interface as the website.
Yeah, and I think things are heating up in the education space. Like Apple had a foothold, and then Google came in with Chromebooks, and also with Google Docs and all the things that go with it. And then Microsoft was like, uh-oh. So I think what we're going to see is probably some low-cost laptops from Microsoft with this maybe even baked on it, where Circuit Playground would work.
Yeah. Well, I think Make Code and CircuitPython both work on Chromebooks as well.
Yep. They do.
Which is awesome.
Yeah, we want it to work everywhere.
It's just work everywhere.
Like, well, it's a USB drive, so
it's a good test.
Yeah. We're working on mobile, but we're not there yet.
Yeah. We're going to get there though.
Yeah.
I'm there.
I can't. This is definitely it's not out yet to ask, but there is a significant number of phones that we might be able to get that we could potentially use as little computers to program all this stuff. I can't talk about it anymore, but yeah, that's a super secret. Friend DA. Okay, so next up, John Park. He did this live stream today, and this is a video from him.
Another ball.
Together the old Bluetooth controller.
Performance is about to begin. Shoot for the magic trunk.
And so
he's checking out the live stream.
Yeah, so he's back. He's been doing live streaming, so check it out. You'll see it on our YouTube channel and more. Okay, I'm going to keep zipping along here.
Yeah, zip it.
Let's see what we're going to go to next. All right. Got a lot of stuff going on. This next video is Erin's testing LED glass pebble floor dot star density. So here's the different pebbles, and she's figuring out which ones look like what. So there's 30, 60. Yeah, so she's figuring out which ones look like what. And it looks like the 144.
144 will always win.
Yeah, that one has like the most diffusion. That one looks the most solid. But you might not want that effect.
More LEDs.
Yeah, that's really cool.
But it's really bright.
Yeah, so check out our project with that in a bit. Okay. Moving right along. Mailbag. Back to mailbag.
Back at the mailbag.
Yeah, so we read, much like the hug reports from Adafruit, we read these letters to the entire company. This week, this is from Ryan. Every time I read about Lady Ada and Adafruit, it makes me want to spend more money there and not at companies that are not as good at supporting community and diversity. Companies should model themselves after this. Thank you, Lady Ada. Thank you, Lady Ada.
Nice work,
Thank you, Ryan. And for the folks who want to get ready at the end of the show, we're going to open up the phone lines. It's own bit stab. And if it goes to voicemail, leave us a nice message. We'll play it. Okay, time travel. I'm going to go through these really fast so I can get to everything tonight. Time travel. So this is just time travel related, okay? Look, I had to put it in there. I stopped everything and I blogged about this. New Dr. Jodie Whittaker, new Doctor Who.
Yay! Dr. S.
Yeah, this is super cool. So this is a big deal if you're into this. We have a TARDIS here at Adafruit, and there's a lot of Dr. Who.
She's got this like kind of cool like, Assassin's Creed outfit too.
Yeah.
Like,
so this is really neat.
Stab some people and then like use a sonic screwdriver.
Yeah. Okay. So that's current. That's present time.
Okay. Present time.
Okay. Next up, 1881. Happy birthday, Isabel Martin Lewis, American astronomer and author, is born Isabel Lewis. Was an American astronomer. Was the first woman hired by the United States Naval Observatory as an assistant astronomer. Astronomer. Yeah. Okay, next up, 2012. This is when you were interviewed about the Lego set that you did. So there was no lady engineer Lego stuff, so we're like, fine, we'll fix it. And we made a set, and then this is a neat story. So you could vote on, and this is the Lego set. It's actually right over here at Adafruit, and this is the old Adafruit, and this is really what it looked like. And we made all these little Lego characters.
All right.
And
It's me.
These guys who were really obsessed with Batman came in and outvoted us at the last second, and they just hated that there was this like lady engineer. So you think
how do they know I'm not Batman? Maybe I'm Batman.
Maybe you are. But
that's Catwoman right there.
Yeah, and so they actually, there's comments and they're like, we don't think this is good for Lego. We want more Batman. And so the neat thing is, you think it's a loss, but what happened? Lego came and did official ones with engineers, scientists,
biologists,
and they did the official ones. It wasn't just ones that voted. So
and little chemistry set Legos.
So net it worked out.
Yeah.
But at the time it was like, oh well, we have this thing, and I think it was probably because it's like a New York Manhattan company with a Lego cat, like it was.
Pick and place.
Yeah, it was just like maybe it's too weird.
Oven.
Speaking of, you did a 2013 article about your favorite gadget. This is one we had just one Samsung.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was kind of fun.
We didn't even have our stenciler yet.
Nope, that was just that machine.
We only had the pick and place.
We hand stenciled, so that was just a little over 3 years ago.
Wow.
Yeah. Wow. Next up in time travel. So we'll get it on this later. We posted about this. So Senior House is getting kind of closed down in MIT, and this is where the most interesting people that I know her friends, and so they're shutting it down. So we're trying to interview the chancellor there. She's on vacation. The PR person
Everyone's on vacation
said no. I mean, like it's a little like, oh, you're on vacation. Okay. So we're gonna.
I'm on vacation until 2019.
Yeah. So a lot of the art and kind of the people that we know in our community, that was part of it. There would be no Adafruit without Senior House.
Probably not.
Yeah. So we're gonna follow this story, but that's in the news right there, right now today. We have it up on our blog, and then a little bit more time travel. So last year you were at the White House.
Yay!
You got a Champions of Change award. It's since been deleted off the website, and there's no evidence you were ever there.
But I was totally there.
But we have photos. And so here's the thing. I posted up on our blog, because this is Made in America Day yesterday, and it's Made in America Week.
We're made in America.
Yeah, we make electronics in the United States.
We
Rare.
totally do.
Super rare.
Did you just see that pick and place?
Yeah, that's the thing. So I wrote a little post because I couldn't find the list of companies that are there. And I tweeted, does anyone know if there's a USA electronic companies or the list of the companies that are there? And so like some crummy Redditor guys like, obviously you're against Donald Trump. It's like, no, I just wanted to know who was there, because maybe there's cool companies that make stuff in the US. So I was able to find a little clip of a video. There's a body armor company, a baseball bat company, donuts, gun sights, and then trucks like Caterpillar and stuff like that. But I'm trying to find a list, because maybe there's neat companies that make electronics or something that we don't know about, that we can say, hey, like you're a USA company.
I know like 5 USA electronics
Yeah.
companies.
So what's interesting is last year there was USA electronics companies. So it looks like they're focusing.
We went.
Yeah, it looks like they're focusing on more things that are like milled or like that, like they're made out of wood.
People.
No, it's just like it's more like they're thinking like industrial equipment.
Yeah.
Where I think like the future is more in batteries.
Like
well, Tesla wasn't there. Where Tesla's made.
That's true.
Right. So we'll see. Like it's.
That counts as the U.S., right?
It's part of the U.S.
Okay.
So anyways, if anyone knows a list, can you email it to me? Because I just want to check out these companies. Like maybe there's something cool. Like, oh, cool, you do like enclosures or like whatever. So we don't
There's
do,
some cool enclosure companies.
We don't do politics. I just wanted to get a list. So anyways, downvote that Redditor. Seriously. Okay, we're an open source hardware company.
It's true.
All right, what are the tutorials of the week?
We had so many guides. Can you make the big second video?
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you. Okay, so we had a bunch of guides. I don't remember which one's new, so like I'll just go through all of them. We have the Humble Velocipede. That's actually one of the new product tutorials, so we'll talk about that. You can make your own 3D printed or laser cut, kind of like crawling walker, like Theo Jansen walkers. We've got the AMG 8833 thermal camera sensor tutorials. That's how to use your thermal camera sensor in Raspberry Pi or Arduino. We have how to program SPI flash chips using an FT232H. It's pretty handy if you have SPI flash like on a BIOS, or if you're like programming an FPGA, you have to program the flash chip. It's a very common thing you need to do when you do electronics, is your firmware stored or your configuration stored in SPI flash. So you can use an FT232H without needing an Arduino. You just use a C program that can run for the command line on Mac, Windows, Linux. So check that out. Circuit Playground Express Laser Tag. This is JP's project. Right before he left, where you can tag Circuit Playground. You can basically wear Circuit Playground, use it as a laser tag gun type thing and a laser tag target type thing. So you can practice how far you can be. It's like basically darts, but with IR. Or you can put it on a person and chase them around. And then you can, if you shoot them 10 times, it you lose all your hit points and it glows red. We've got the fidget spinner tachometer. I think this project was done with Arduino and CircuitPython. for the Circuit Playground Express and Circuit Playground Classic, so check that out. It's from Tony D. We have a couple of videos with that. The Feather Fingerboard, that was a 3D Hangout project from 2 weeks ago from the Ruiz folks. Just fun. It's just a fun project. It's like way more fun than you think. You're like, it doesn't do anything. It's like, that's the point. It's awesome. It doesn't do anything. We have a Pro Trinket tachometer. So this was a project I think used, this is a Pro Trinket tachometer for a drill press. And so using like a reflection sensor and like a 7-segment display. Bill Earl, he has a drill press. I guess you want to know what the RPM was, so you can see he has a little sensor in it on the motor for the drill press. You like paint a little white line, and then it like reflects off, and it could count how fast it was going around, and it printed out. So like usually these little DRO add-ons cost like $1,000, something ridiculous. He just made his own for like $20, so it's a good deal. John Park made a Metro minimalist clock. He just wanted the clock in a shop. He shows how to use gels to increase the contrast on a 7-segment backpack. Have the LED eyes, which is just like a simple soldering project that Noah and Pedro did for last week. And then this week is Guardian Robot project which is a Guardian Robot build somebody else modeled, and they added a robot and eyes and NeoPixels. So that's where we're at now.
Yep.
1,251 guides.
Yeah.
So we're past the quarter mark on the way to 2,000.
Almost there. I remember when we hit 10. Then we hit 100, and then 500, and then
1,000 was a big
1,000 is a big deal.
Well,
and
we're
then,
now already 250 above.
Yeah, so that's pretty cool.
We're doing good.
Okay.
I want to kind of average like 2 or 3 guides a week. That's, I think, a good pace.
That's a good clip. Yeah, you average at least that for new products.
I do.
Yeah.
Yeah, we don't have any, we haven't had a lot of new products that have guides lately, but we're gonna get back onto it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Tomorrow, right?
Yeah.
We're up to one tomorrow, and then we also have. I think we're probably gonna have a lot of CircuitPython guides.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
If you order stuff from Supply Frame, they're including this Crowd Supply cool book. It's this Maker's Almanac. There's NeoPixels on the back.
So you buy something from Crowd Supply, because they fulfill projects.
Yeah, and they toss in a Maker's 2017 Almanac. Yeah, it has a bunch of like hardware and stuff like that, things that they've made, things that are in the community. So check it out. I like these little books and almanac-y things. Speaking of open source hardware, we're still doing the DigiKey buy one, give one. So this Circuit Playground Classic, when you buy one at DigiKey, they donate one to Girls Who Code. So that's going on right now. Earlier in the day in the Discord chat, people were asking me, is there any free Arduino news? Yes. I got 2 bits of Arduino
They wanted
news.
to gossip.
Well, it's just like what's going on, because like we've all been working in the Arduino world for like 10 years.
Right.
And like most of the libraries are yours, and I've just lived in this Arduino world. I wrote that article, Why the Arduino One, Where It's Here to Stay. Like, it's a very important thing in our community. So here's the news. I'll start with the news, and then I'll complain about something. So the news is there's a Chrome, like I guess you call it a Chrome extension, but it's for all Chrome OS devices. And the thing that kind of came up in the tweet world is they charged $1 a month, 99 cents. So for 99 cents a month, you know, it stores your sketches in the cloud and everything. And the feedback was, well, what are students going to do? Like, how are they going to break out a credit card? How will educators be able to do this? Yeah. So like maybe it eliminated like the download ID, but now you have to make payment. So luckily, I went back to the post. So I emailed the Arduino people. No one from Arduino will ever talk to me again. So totally expected, but I still try. So I asked, hey, was Circuit Playground going to be in there? Whatever. But they did they did an update to their post. So the update is, we're applying for Google Education Partners Technology Track to learn how to offer bulk discounts for schools and classrooms. Other Google Education apps that are part of this program can be found here. So I think they listen to the community and they're trying. However, I'll say this, like CodeBender tried this.
Yeah.
This has been tried. Like, oh, you pay a little bit of money and you get to store your stuff. So we'll see if people use it. I don't know.
And that was working on Chrome for a very long time.
Yeah, and I think on the Chrome page it shows how many users there are. Or I think it's just downloads. So like right now there's 200. So maybe it's not that they're paying for it, it's just they've installed it.
Yeah.
So we'll see what happens. However, back to the current story. So the reason I have this free Arduino thing is there's still not open source Arduino stuff that says open source on it, and it's mostly in all the things from Arduino.org, which is part of this Dog Hunter Lenino thing that happened with the new CEO, and anything that's Yun or Industria or anything that's, when you go to the documentation, it says download the Eagle files. It's actually a, it's an ORCAD. No, it's
a PDF.
No, but what's the,
It's ORCAD.
Okay, it's ORCAD. And then when you open OrCAD, OrCAD it's just a schematic that's the PDF, and the PDF says Dog Hunter and there's no license. So it's not open source hardware. So and on Olamex, which is a really cool company that we've liked for a while, this is a blog post, and it's also getting commented. Like every week I check back and there's more comments. And someone dug up, I think, what says it best. And this is from Massimo, the former CEO of Arduino, and if you find all the files as open source, if not, it's just marketing. So that's it. That's from the guy. So we'll keep following the story, but like right now, anything on the Arduino.org site is a little suspect of if it's open source or not. And I've emailed, no response. Other people have emailed, no response. Bunny emailed, no response. And so it's if you have the word open source on the board and you put your logo on it and you say it's open source, you can build the board, but you're tricking people with not really Eagle files, and the OrCAD is just a picture of the schematic, and there's a big black box, and you can't really make this. What I'm worried about is the people who are helping, and I'll just go back to this example, like Bill, who's part of 18 Makers, he can only do this because it's open source hardware. And the idea that Arduino is not going in that direction anymore. Also, Crate's not open source.
No.
And neither is this this app, I don't think.
Chrome plugin, the Chrome
so
OS plugin. Yeah, I don't think it is. I haven't seen the code.
So, like, the thing that got Arduino here is not continuing on. It seems like especially on the .org side. So, we'll see. I'm following up. There's a couple journals that are looking this up, and you'll hear more.
Follow up.
Doggedly, apparently.
Dog Hunter.
Word of the day.
Yeah. So, okay, factory footage. We have a couple things. There's a little video. So there's music.
Like side.
Here's our stenciler.
This is some stencil cleaning.
Yeah.
Let's clean up the stencil.
Got a lot of stuff going on. And these are the little holders.
Yeah, they can make drawings.
Yeah, they're in there.
These are the standoffs that hold the PCBs up.
Yeah, so that's pretty cool.
That's pretty cool.
And then, you know, classic Adafruit sunset. Okay.
Very nice.
Some quick Adafruit IoT news. Some of the teams in town.
Yeah.
Yeah. So just a quick user update. We passed the 30,000 mark.
30,000 users.
30,000 users.
And then we'll do 30,000 online feeds.
Yeah.
So 90,000 feeds total means about 3 feeds per user.
Yep.
It's pretty cool.
Okay. 3D printing. A couple of videos from Noam Pedro. This week. This is a video from last week. It was a big deal. This is fun.
LEDs.
Okay.
Okay.
Microbit Monday.
Before MOSFET.
So we have a microbit project. We've been doing Microbit Monday every week. This week is an interactive animated badge. The tutorial and how to make it is on the site. Keeping up with, I'm trying to write more on the site. So this is some Raspberry Pi news, which I think is interesting. So I've been keeping track of how many Raspberry Pis there are. So Eben, who he's like a knight now or something. He's got every he's like
Sir
a PhD, Sir Eben. Like he's like
He has many awards.
he's like the guy who like got the most distributed computers in the UK. So they are now up to between 14 and 15 million Raspberry Pis. Wow. So if you go on our blog, you can see the timeline. I've been writing about this for maybe 5-6 years. So you can see where it's going. So that's the bar.
The 3B, yeah. So the 3B
Yeah.
is like the current one. What's interesting is how many they sold of the Model B and the B Plus and the 2B. The 2B actually wasn't even around that long.
Yeah.
But they still sold 3 million.
Yeah, so what I'd like to do is try to, because one of the things that when people write about the maker market or like, oh, these microcontrollers, it's always hard to get the sales figures. So if you write about it as it happens, then you can always look back and then start to chart. So you can see if it's speeding up or slowing down. And with Raspberry Pi, there's a lot. So 3B is up to 5 million units.
So they sell about, they're selling, I think the Raspberry Pi's been around for like 4 years now.
Yeah.
So they're selling about 4 million a year.
Yeah,
5
that's a
million
lot.
But I think it's speeding up.
That's a few Pis per second,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, they use the Sony factory in Wales. Well,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's cool. Okay, before we get going with new products, the code is easy peasy lemon. 10% off native for Star up to 11:59 p.m. Lady Ada, want to do this?
Yeah, let's do the new products.
Okay, sing your song.
New, 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 new.
You're right.
Yeah, I do.
Okay.
Just kicking me
This,
out.
no,
Bye.
this used to be locked.
Yeah.
It's not anymore.
I don't know what
yeah.
happened. Things changed.
It
Says on.
Okay. It doesn't matter. It's fine.
Okay.
Yeah, we're good.
I
Everything's
just
good.
need access to the.
All right,
Okay.
Okay.
back up. Lady is about to.
Yes.
Okay, so before we do this, don't forget there's a new product newsletter. It's actually our most subscribed to newsletter right now. You have to go into your account. We never spam you. You don't get this pop-up thing. But if you want to know when we have new products, just sign up. It goes out once a week. And we have like 5,000 people on already.
Yes.
Pretty cool.
Yay.
Pretty cool. Okay.
Most popular.
All right, you ready?
Yes.
New products. This is where, so sorry about the cover. We had nothing to do with this, but it's blocked out. It looks like that in real
That's
life.
actually what it looks like.
Yeah, so I used to be an editor at 2600, and I did a bunch of stuff in the Hope world, and I was in this documentary when we were trying to make sure people knew what their rights were for computer and cyber stuff before there was computer and cyber stuff. So our video series that we did called Citizen Engineer, we're rebooting it, and we're doing articles and also videos, and we decided let's write an article for 2600.
Yeah.
So I'll go to the overhead.
Yeah.
It's called
This is our
Citizen
article.
Engineer.
Yep, it's called Patently Hacking. We wrote
Yeah.
this. They were like, we really need another 2 pages. And we're like, well, write something. So we wrote about some Supreme Court patent decisions that recently came in. So 2 of them, one was the Kraft Food one that you can no longer just sue in Eastern District of Texas.
Yeah.
If there's no.
You have to be in the same jurisdiction.
Yeah, it has to be in the same jurisdiction.
So if someone wants to dink Lemoore or Adafruit for patent infringement or something, they have to come to New York.
Yeah.
Yay, logic. You know, it took a few years for that
Rather than
reform.
picking the best place to win.
Then the patent factory court in East Texas.
And then the second patent we talked about was the impression part, was Lexmark, which is a patent exhaustion.
Yeah.
And then we also chatted about how the MP3 software patent expired. So
Yeah.
we can now embed MP3 into firmware without having to pay.
We're going to do an
licensing fee.
experiment, and we're going to make an MP3 playing chip, and we're just going to find out what happens when we ask the companies that make this, like, can we just get the chip blank now without that on there? So anyways, we'll see.
Okay.
And now that I think it's over, I guess we could talk about, so a patent troll was trying to troll us, and now since this decision, I'm pretty sure they can't. Because,
this is one of the things
because
that
both things seem to affect them. So they weren't in New York, and it was something that we resold. We didn't even make it, and they were wrong. But it was scary because it's like, you could license this patent, and like we just want to talk to you. So that was going on for a while, but it's over now. So we got trolled by a patent troll, but I think that decision kind of
we'll
got rid of them. Yeah.
Hopefully.
Fingers crossed.
Yeah, we'll see.
There's never really an ending. They never really go
No,
away.
we'll figure out another scam. Okay.
Okay.
All right, batteries.
Next up, batteries. These are 3 AAA batteries. So we sell a battery pack for 3 AAAs because it kind of ends up being the right voltage for a lot of electronics because you get like 3.6 volts. You can regulate it down to 3.3. So we used to sell these batteries in 2-packs, and it was a little frustrating because you wanted 3, and you'd have to get 2 packs of 2, and then you have 1 battery left over, and then what do you do with it? So now we sell them in packs of 3, so it goes well into our kits. So we're going to replace all of our kits so that they come with 3 batteries. And the next product is very similar. No, go back.
Oh.
We have
the other batteries.
AA batteries.
Right, that's the difference between.
They look similar.
They're very
3
close.
of each.
Oh.
It's not just a closer photo; they're actually bigger.
Yeah.
So these are 3 AA batteries. Same deal. We sell a 3 AA battery pack.
Right.
So now you can get 3 at a time.
Okay. Next.
Next up, little jumpers with handles. These are pretty handy. They're 0.1 inch spacing. Like, you know, people used to build computers, you know, your motherboard would have these, you'd use it to set your, like, IRQs and stuff. But in electronics, oftentimes you want to, like, you know, short 2 pins together. Maybe you want to use, like, a current sensing setup. So you'd have these short your power pins while you're not sensing. Anyways, they're just handy. You get 10 of them for, like, $1.
Okay, next up.
They're nice with handles. Oh, we have potentiometers. Okay, so we have 2 potentiometers. So we're finishing up our potentiometer sweep, as it were. This is a logarithmic mono potentiometer with a switch. So you can show on the overhead. So what's nice about it is there's a little switch here. So when you first turn it on, it you know, starts at 0 and then you can turn it up. So this is really good for audio projects where you want to have it be off, and then as you turn up the volume, and so when you turn it off, you know, it always starts at the lowest volume. And you use this for mono audio, and then we also have the stereo version, which you can show the nice photo of. The mono version can kind of sort of work in a breadboard. This one totally can't. It's the wrong spacing, so you'll have to use just wires to solder it to your project, or you can make a custom PCB, of course. But it's the same idea. It's got a switch in it, a nice switch, and it's stereo, so it's got 2 independent logarithmic potentiometer. So again, good for audio projects where you want to have a switch to turn it off, and then it gets louder, and because it's logarithmic, not linear, the audio level sounds more like your ear would think.
Okay.
Okay, we got a new PyCom board. So this is you know, a MicroPython running board. It has an ESP32 in it, running MicroPython. It's got Bluetooth, Wi-Fi, and this version is special. It also has Sigfox. So Sigfox is a sort of wide area network, has about a range of about 1 mile or 2. You pay for it as a service, but the service is in many cities and beyond. So check if you have Sigfox in your area. But if you do, you get to use you know, the Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, and Sigfox in Python. It's easy to program, it's easy to set up, it's kind of nice all in one, it's easy certified.
Yeah.
So a good,
all the networks.
It's really good if you're like, look, I really want to have like a wide variety of networks. Maybe you want to do a bridge from Sigfox to Wi-Fi, or Bluetooth to Sigfox, or you want to, you know, send data, you know, far away and then have it connect to your phone or something. So this board is very nice. So we have a family of these. There's a LoRa one, and now there's a Sigfox one.
Okay.
So Sigfox, you don't have to set up the network yourself, but you have to pay for it. LoRa, you set up the network yourself. Next
up, this is from an Adafruit team member.
Yeah, this is the parts you need to build your own 3D printed little like crawler. This is you know, based off of Theo Jansen's sort of desert walkers, and you don't get all the pieces.
No.
What you get is the metal kits. These are like specially bent metal pieces and little tabs.
That's the part you can't print out yet.
Yeah, the part that you can't print. So you would laser cut and glue or 3D print all the rest of the parts, and we have files that you can
so
print.
if you want to print or laser cut, you need these metal parts.
And you can print on a small printer. But you need these metal parts to make it work. So what's neat is you will get all these parts. You can sort of see it here. There's a crank. So you can even put together a crank if you want.
Yeah.
And then
good project if you have access to a tech shop or, you know, whatever.
Yeah, you have access to a 3D printer, and they're small parts, and they snap together, and then you just, you know, you have all the little tabs and the so the crank gear element that makes it work, and it's all kind of well known and working. So we have a guide about that. So you can build this using the metal parts. That's from Dano.
Good work, Dano.
Who also makes the really nice time lapses.
Yes. Shout out to Dano. Okay, next up.
Okay, we have next up an soldering iron. This is an Aten 937 iron, and I've actually we actually ordered these a while ago. And they finally came in. These are really nice because they're a two-part design. You get, the heater element with adjustable temperature control, and you also get a pen soldering iron. And what's nice is it's not that much more expensive than the all-in-one irons, but it's got 50 watts of power, so it's like pretty good. And you get this separate pen, which is nice and light, so it's like very easy to solder with. I think it's very comfortable, it heats up very fast, which I like. And then you can use Hacko tips. So the tip it comes with is, okay, I can actually show it. I have the iron here. So yeah, the iron, the held part of the iron, the pen part, is really nice and light, but it doesn't get too hot. And then you have the tip. The tip is sort of a conical shape, but you can remove the tip very easily. And then you just replace this part with, any Hacko style tips. So we have like surface mount or like through hole, like screwdriver type. So really good if you want to have like the wide variety and also the light soldering iron pen. I kind of prefer these. So, if you really need an all-in-one, get the pen type. But if you're willing to spend a little bit more, get one of these. And then if you want like a really nice iron, of course you can spring for the Hacko.
Comes in Adafruit black.
And it comes in Adafruit black. So it's the Aten 937. I like it. Actually, we use it for our demos. We use it.
Okay.
This is a star.
The star of the show tonight, besides Scott and Dan and Lady Ada, is this.
This is a super mega Circuit Playground Express pack. We made this pack actually for some Microsoft events, but we also wanted to stock it.
Yeah.
It's really nice. It's an educator's pack, and it's kind of like everything you could fit in this box. This really nice lunchbox that is Circuit Playground Express based. So you can use this with Circuit Playground Express in MakeCode, or in Arduino, or in CircuitPython, whatever you like.
Yeah.
So I thought maybe we could hold up this really cool.
Yeah, I'll go to the main camera.
So you get this really nice, it comes with a sleeve.
Yeah, we showed this on it, it's not out yet, but now the lunchboxes are in.
So you get this cool Adabot lunchbox. So you can use a lunchbox and a storage box. And then inside, we just have a lot of really cool things. So you want to maybe show the overhead? You want to hold that up? So first off, it's like cool and embossed. It's always cool. So you get 3 AA battery holder with switch, 3 AAA battery holder with switch. You get 2 Circuit Playground Expresses.
Oh wait, I'm holding it up for nothing. It's like, why can't I see it?
You get this really cool insert, which it describes everything. You get a bunch of thin copper tape. So this is really good if you want to do conductive.
It's worth it just for the lunchbox.
Just like paper projects. Yeah, the lunchbox nice. And then you get 2 storage boxes with batteries, NeoPixels, 2 servo motors, magnet sewing stuff, sequins, extender cable, conductive thread, and then in this cable box over here, you get alligator clips to breadboard adapters. These are really handy if you want to use a breadboard. And then alligator clips to alligator clips, also really handy for just quick prototyping. And 2 USB to micro USB cables. So you can,
and what version of Circuit Playground is this?
These are Circuit Playground Expresses, so you can use them with MakeCode, CircuitPython, or Arduino.
Okay.
Or code.org once we finish porting Python.
Okay.
So this is the latest Circuit Playground Express.
So this is the one you want?
This is the one you want.
This is the one you want.
Yeah,
Because you get, the lunchbox too.
You get this sweet-ass lunchbox.
Yeah,
but
people collect lunchboxes. This might be one of the ones that people put on their shelf and they're like, I have an Adafruit lunchbox.
This is I would totally take this.
They look super cool.
It is really nice.
Does it come with a breadboard?
It doesn't, because it's meant to be
solder free. Yeah, solder free.
Solder free.
No solder free and breadboard free. So it's like this.
Yeah, that way no poking.
No poking.
Okay.
But you get 2 Circuit Playground Expresses. So this was kind of designed for educators. Like you would probably get a pack for your classroom of like 30 Circuit Playground Expresses, but then maybe you wanted to show all the different projects you can build. So this kind of lets you build like almost every project.
Okay.
Yeah, super awesome.
And with that, Lady Ada, you did it. Congratulations. Yay. New product's over.
Woo. Sweet.
We're up to date.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Woo. Caught up. All right.
Thanks, everybody.
Don't forget, Easy Peasy Lemon is the code. 10% off all the way up till 11:59 p.m.
I'm going to give Scott back his
we're going to do the top secret now.
Okay.
Lady Ada, it's not out yet. Don't ask, what are you working on that you can't tell anybody about except for everybody on the internet? But they can't ask questions.
We've got the Gemma M0 coming out. Scott, do you want to talk about this?
I'm excited.
Are you excited?
I'm super excited.
Okay, let's plug it in, see what happens.
Oh, pretty lights.
All right.
And guess what's controlling those lights?
What?
CircuitPython. This
true.
is the first board we're shipping with CircuitPython, and that is the reason we tagged 1.0.
Yeah.
Yeah, because we're like, oh, if we're shipping something, we should probably not.
We're
have
going to
it
ship
today.
1.0.
Yeah.
That's the release candidate.
It's fun to have a release that goes along with a piece of hardware, I think.
Oh, I'm stoked.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So again, when you plug it in, it shows up a disk drive. You go to README, so people
Yep.
get started, and it even comes with the Windows signed driver on the disk. So like for you and me, it comes with the signed driver, so you can get the REPL and some links and instruction, and then example code that shows a bunch of things. For example, has capacitive touch test. So when you touch
that's
this,
cool.
the red LED lights up. So that's one demo, and then you have analog output. It still has all the stuff you love about Gemma, like the on-off switch, and then you could put it into bootloader mode, although it's like, hey, USB's not connected, so freak out. And then USB, the JST connector. You get 3 I/O pins. All of them do capacitive touch. All of them do analog input. One of them does analog output. They all do PWM, I think.
I would assume so.
I think
Most of the pins do.
Yeah, I think they all do PWM. Maybe like
I can look.
Yeah, I think they all do. Well, I think 2 of them do, and then one of them does the analog output, so you can do like 2 servo projects.
Right, I think you're right.
NeoPixel Control works with it. And of course, you can use it in Arduino as well.
Yep.
And I want to see if we can get MakeCode ported to, well, have it.
Oh, I don't see why not. This is the same chip that's on the Feather M0 Express and Circuit Playground Express.
It's the same chip, well, the same flash, same RAM, but
fewer
pins.
Yeah.
So I can just squish things around a little bit, but I added a little dot star, which I like, because it's good for
the status LED.
Status
is
LEDs.
super nice.
Also, it means you can
And-
write software and immediately see the output.
Right. You don't need to hook anything up to see that it's working. You can do a
Yep.
demo with it.
Yeah. Beep, 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 beep.
Yeah, what I like is there's a lot of Gemma projects when it was just the Arduino compatible that had costuming because it's very small, battery power. So I can't wait to see what happens because this one is the one that if you want to change your costume lighting or anything, you just plug it in, it shows up as a drive, you double click a text file and you can edit it. You're not stuck when you're in your costume and stuff like that.
Yeah, and that's like, I spent at least a few days on the status LED in case that happens. So like, if you are like, oh, you're booting it up and like somehow you put a version that didn't quite work, it will flash you lights telling you like, hey, I'm trying to run, but I don't think I can.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like electronics that are always they're trying to help you.
Yeah.
They're like, hey, everything's okay, or like, ooh, like help.
That's me. It's running at 48 megahertz, 256K of flash, 32K of RAM. So if you use it in Arduino, for example, you can store like a 10-second audio clip in flash and then play it out the audio pin.
Yeah.
So you can do all
That's
sorts of like neat hacks, and we've got keyboard mouse emulation working, and like it's going to be like the Gemma still works and we'll still sell it, but USB stacks on Macs especially change up all the time, and having a true USB serial connection is really nice. So I'm going to kind of push people towards like, hey, like if you're building a new Gemma project, go with the Gem M0, because we actually spent a lot of effort to make sure that, and we went through all the old Gemma projects to make sure that it's pin compatible. So if you compile it for the Gem M0, the code works exactly the same. Like you don't have to change anything with the code. Like the PWM on that pin still is PWM, and like analog in is the same analog in. The names are all the same, which means it's a little weird. Like digital 0 is analog 2. And we did that to match the old Gemma.
Okay.
There's like 10,000
so
of them.
it's not out yet, don't ask, we're working on it. Okay. Look, next up we have questions. I have some queued up in the chat. Ask your questions in the chat. We'll get to them as fast as we can, and then we're going to give away something. We're going to go. All right, this is questions for the engineers. What was the first programming language that you learned from Dan to Scott and then to Lady Ada?
Fortran.
Fortran?
PHP.
Pascal.
Yeah. Okay, I think mine was Perl.
Yeah.
I was doing, yeah.
You can actually tell like.
Oh,
when
you know what? No, actually, no,
popularity.
no. It was. I shouldn't say that. That's like web. I'd say it was basic with like the apples.
Yeah, I didn't do basic, but I did Pascal. Pascal
Yeah.
was like super hip at the time.
Yeah, I mean, like
Totally
I
not
guess I
Python.
can. I was thinking of like web languages.
I did Python as number 2. That's when I wasn't doing web anymore.
Yeah, I did something language for second, and it was all punch cards
Yeah.
to start with.
Okay. First computers. That was in the. That was one of the questions that came up before that I tried to. First computer, you remember?
Well, the machine, I didn't own it. It was this thing the size of several refrigerators.
Yeah, you would drive a car and visit it.
Engineering Lab 840A.
Okay,
which was like a mini computer, such as it was called in those days, and it ran. Yeah,
Okay,
it was
Scott?
yeah.
Which did you remember?
First one I owned was a Dell 8100. It was right as like the gigahertz race was happening.
Yeah.
So it was a 1.3 gigahertz Pentium 4.
Okay.
I like bought it after Christmas after my parents helped out.
I think the first computer that I used was a Mac 512K.
Yeah. I'm trying to. I don't remember because I used a lot of computers when I was really young. But I think the one I first bought was the first one that I bought was like a PowerPC. I think that was the one that I bought myself. That I like ran up my credit card.
My friend had a Commodore 64, but like, I didn't have one of those, and then, my parents got a Mac 512K, so I got to use that.
Okay. Next up, what PCB design rules does Lady Ada use? Line width, spacing, and via diameter.
Totally depends what you're building.
I hope that's really Robert Smith asking. I hope that's Robert Smith.
Like from The Cure?
I hope it's from The Cure. He's like, what? PCB?
I'm so in love.
I'm so sad about Arduino. Okay.
Crying because you're
Next
gone.
up, they'd love to see an Adafruit IDE. Is there anyone, or will you develop one? I think we already kind of have what I would say is an Adafruit IDE, and that's you can use any IDE you want.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of that.
That's where we're heading. So, like, what IDEs? I'll go down the list here. What IDE do you like to use?
Or editor.
Editor, yeah.
I learned. I've been using Emacs for 40 years.
Okay. That's fine.
I use Atom, which is more of a text editor than IDE.
Yeah, I just use XEMAX and command line.
Yeah, Atom. I like Atom.
If I have to use an IDE, I use NetBeans.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. So let me go through some of these. Any idea why the 5mm stainless steel ribbons are impossible to find except for by the boatload from China?
No.
Don't know. Okay, let me hit over. Scott, maybe you can tell me if there's any questions on them.
Yeah, how many stickers are in your laptop? Drew wants to know.
Oh, yeah, there's a lot. In fact, I'll hold up my laptop. Drew was so nice, he created a sticker, but here's the back of my computer.
Maybe like 50?
Then, yeah, probably
Oh man, the bottom has some too?
Yeah, I ran out of space. But basically, you can almost tell it's time for me to switch computers when I run out of space. So,
yeah, what happened to your new laptop? Didn't you sell one?
I use it as a streaming computer, and I'm almost ready to migrate on. It takes me a few weeks. And then we've had a lot of requests for the rainbow stickers because we have a rainbow flag during Pride Month on Adafruit. But we didn't feel right making them because then we'd have to like figure out it like as part of an order and all this stuff. And so the community made them.
Yay.
So they sent us some. Yeah, and that's kind of the way to go. Like we never.
You should just do it that way.
Yeah, we don't want to like co-opt something that's very important to people as a business thing. It's just like we celebrate it, but like having apparel or something you sell felt weird. So we didn't want to do that. Okay.
So thank you, Drew.
Yeah, thank you, Drew. So now you saw the laptop. Yeah, I instantly put the sticker on there. Okay. Lamar, did you have access to a Cray?
No, I've never had access to a Cray.
Okay. Let's see. I think.
I don't even think I've seen an off.
How does the new soldering iron, I'm getting it from nobody.
Yeah.
Soldering iron hold up compared to the Hacko or the Weller?
It's not as nice as the standalone Hacko, but it's pretty good. I think it's actually better than like the all-in-ones. So if you have like the desk space, I would go with. I actually rather like it, but you need to get a new tip for it. The tip it comes with is like very so-so.
Okay. Let's end it here. Let's give something away.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, Lady Ada, what are the rules for the trivia question?
Rules are first person to call the phone number and answer my questions is the winner. The questions are super easy. I'm going to ask you your name and where you're calling from. And then if you're building a project or making something cool, let us know. That'd be also sweet. The prize is going to be the Circuit Playground Express Educator Pack.
Really?
Ooh.
Yeah.
Jeez. Okay.
Too bad I'm here. I can't call in.
Yeah.
I mean, you can just get one.
Okay.
I mean, you're
So
here.
just a heads up,
Come
Dan,
on.
I had to move your mic off the board
Okay.
because I had to use. I have to have the
So you
phone.
can just yell into
Yeah, you
right.
can just yell in the Scott's chest.
I'm talking to the Scott Shawcroft.
Yeah. Hi, Scott's shirt.
Hi, Scott's shirt.
Okay. So here we go. The phone number is there. That's a really good.
I know, but it's been
Prize.
a
Okay.
couple weeks, and it is the
Yeah. Let's see what
fancy
happens.
thing.
See if anyone
Maybe an
calls.
educator will call.
But we really said if I gave you a potentiometer, it's like you get a potentiometer. Let's come down.
Yeah.
I want something nice.
All right. The phone lines are open. Let's see who. Oh.
right.
I'm always
Okay.
surprised when this works. Okay.
ready?
Yeah. Anytime you want.
Hello, you've reached Ask Engineer, and you're the winner. Congratulations. What's your name and where are you calling from? Hello?
I don't know if this is working.
Well, you won the Circuit Playground Express Pack, but we need your name and where you're calling from.
Oh no, wrong microphone.
Random anonymous.
Okay, good. Okay, cool. So it'll get you fast. Okay, well you've won.
Wait, can you have her
wait,
repeat
hold on.
that? Did she mean to call into the show? By the
What?
way? Did she mean to call into the show? By the way?
No,
Could
just
you
one
repeat
second.
that?
Is there a phone? Was he phone? Whatever, everything's fine. Everything's great here.
Oh,
We're
yeah, Mis-
engineers. We're totally going to make everything
Mr.
work
Certainly
out.
says they didn't get the audio.
Well,
No, they didn't. It was
yeah,
an
other
audio.
people can't hear the audio. That's okay, but I can
Maybe
hear
you
the
can
audio.
repeat.
Can you repeat
Oh,
your name and where you're calling from? Because I guess we weren't. The
Oh.
mic wasn't working. Cause
Yeah, I'm random and I'm. Hello?
Yeah, where are you calling from?
Oh, I'm calling from Pennsylvania. I'm actually watching on the live stream right now.
Yeah,
Okay.
you really turn it up because it'll be we're
It'll be
delayed.
confusing.
Oh,
But
yeah, I'm calling. Yeah, I'm calling from Delps, PA.
okay. Well, congratulations, you're the winner. Email support@adafruit.com and you will get this fabulous CircuitPython Express Educator Pack.
It sounds like there's a bunch of
Thank
kids in
you
the
so
background.
much. I'm very happy. I've been an Adafruit customer for many years.
Yay!
And I want to thank you.
Okay, well, thank you for calling and being the first caller. And have fun and make some cool projects. And hang out in the chat. Go to the Discord chat. Scott lets people hang out in the Discord chat.
Hang out with me.
Go do that.
There's so many chats.
And then, email support@adafruit.com and we'll get you your prize.
Wow, thanks so much.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
Have a great night. Bye. Okay, that kind of worked.
Yeah,
That worked enough.
there's a lot of mics going on here.
I think there were some kids.
It was fine. Yeah, everyone had a good
Yeah.
time. Everything's
It was-
fine.
it was good.
Okay, I think you're back in. Maybe say something, Dan.
Hello, can you hear
Hi,
me?
am I back?
Yeah?
Yeah, I think you are.
Okay.
Maybe. Are you?
We're almost done.
You should give great thanks to Phil because he's manipulating this
There's
enormous
like
mixer boards and wires.
It's intense over
It's
there.
fine. Everything's fine.
Everything's great. Well, whatever. We're giving away prizes.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that's the show for tonight.
Yay.
Thank you, everybody. Don't forget the code is easy peasy lemon. All the way up to 10% off. 11:59. Thank you so much, Dan. Thank you so much, Scott. This is super fun.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah.
Thank you.
We'll be here next week. More stuff. More surprises.
Unending stuff.
More
Unending
electronics. More
surprises.
news. More fun. More sharing.
We've had like guests for 3 weeks now,
Yeah.
right?
You know, the summer is always like that.
No, I know. I like
Yeah.
it. And then,
The summer's always like that.
September, we'll have a couple of visitors too.
Yeah. Okay. A couple last things. Don't forget, we have. I think we have another. What are we doing? Is there a bunch of? Do we have another video that we're doing live this week? Oh no, we're recording one this Saturday.
Yeah.
Okay, that's the only one.
Yeah,
that's
we're
coming
doing
out.
we're doing that.
We're probably not going to do a Desk of Lady this week because there's like a billion people in town.
We have so many. Yeah, we have so many guests.
Yeah.
I think
We were going to try, but like, it was tough.
It's tough.
So we'll probably
yeah.
resume next week.
But we had a lot of good pizza.
Okay. Yeah, we've been eating pizza.
Pizza's been good.
Pizza's been pretty good.
So we're gonna go eat some food.
Okay.
Thank you everybody for watching and
Yeah.
Bearing with us and
Yep.
Hanging out with us.
Okay.
Extra long. Ask Engineers.
Before we
Ask
go,
Engineers.
we want to, in memory of
Right.
Steve, the robot that committed suicide, there's a vigil going on right now. In loving memory of the,
Right?
so he,
Robot.
yeah. And
Show
then,
some cats.
Scott, who are these cats?
These are my kitties. The
Very nice.
one in back is Vin, and in front is Spook, and they're named after characters from Mistborn by Brandon Sanderson.
Okay.
Are they related? Or are they like
They're brother and sister,
Okay.
yeah.
Good.
Okay. And then here's MOSFET.
Meow.
Now, Scott, you
sound
actually
like-
met,
MOSFET.
he's alive.
He's alive and
He's
well.
alive. He's alive.
Yeah. And then here's your moment of Zener.
Bye everybody.
I'll never forget you,
Bye-bye.
Steve the robot.
I'll never forget you, Zener.
Bye-bye.
Good night.